Hello, I'm here with a quick introduction. Well, actually, being indoors for once, it seems I cut off the beginning of this podcast, so I thought I'd just give a gentle introduction before cutting across to the field. So apologies for the strange start, but hope you enjoy the next brief episode. Cheers. I've had a look in the beehive, as I'm still only got one this year. Hopefully we'll be back to 2 when I split these ones in the spring. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if they make it through. So I've lifted the lid. The Celotex bonnet, I've not opened the hive in any way. And because I've got a Perspex crown board, the topmost bit of the box I keep the bees in, I can see through into the bees. And they are alive and well, running round. Even though it's quite cold this morning, it's frosty underfoot. I think because of the manner I keep them in, they're nice and warm. So they're not clustered, they're spread out across all the frames of the box, running around quite happily. And I've felt the weight of the hive, and it's still nice and heavy, so I don't need to do any supplemental feeding. I've also inspected the entrance. I've put my hive tool in the entrance block because sometimes you can have a build-up of dead bees within the hive and it's not warm enough for them to fly to take the bees out. So I've put my hive tool through the entrance and I've given it a waggle to clear it. If there were any dead there, I pushed them back and made space, but there were a few bees sort of coming out to investigate me anyway, and now there's quite a few more came out to see what I was up to. They don't like any type of interference at this time of year, so that was good to see. So they're having a little conversation on the front of the hive, just to check there's not going to be any more intrusion. So that's all good. So, everything looks good. I think I just pressed mute on my mic for a second there. The next thing I've done is I have put in 4 posts around each corner of the hive and slid some sort of garden sort of 1-inch square plastic fencing around the hive to give like a perimeter, so that if green woodpeckers start coming to investigate the box, now the ground is frozen a bit, they can't feed as easily. They'll look for easier things to prey on, and so a nice soft poly hive is easy prey. So I've put a garden mesh barrier around it. I've taken pictures of all that sort of stuff, which I shall put up on my Instagram, Beekeeper's Diary podcast Instagram feed, so I'll put some pictures up on there. I might pop some pictures on the website as well. So all is good. I think I've not really seen any migratory birds personally this year, not that I've been out much to look, but I think I saw some either redwings or fieldfares flying over, those Scandinavian birds that come over for the winter. They weren't calling, so I couldn't tell, but they had that, the flight that the thrush family do, the turdae, I think it is in Latin, birds, where they fly high, they flap their wings for 2-3 beats, then glide and flap and glide in a little flock of 5 or 6. So it was definitely a thrush family, and typically our resident thrushes don't fly in groups like that, so it was most probably, I can hear a woodpecker calling as I speak. That'd be a greater spotted, don't typically land on our hives, but they're about. Yeah, so I don't think it was our, some thrush, missile thrush types, because they don't cluster like that. So hopefully I'll get to see some of those soon. Who knows, if it's a good year, we might even get some waxwings. Not that I've seen them in this particular area, but you never know. Well, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you are lined up to have a good Christmas. I'm not having to work too much. Thank you to all the new listeners and people that listen around the world. I was looking at my stats on the website the other day, and I've had listeners from 82 different cities so far and wide, which is lovely. I think there's people all around listening to my stupid warblings. But anyway, have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't speak to you before then. Who knows? Yeah, have a good one. Bye.